Move over, Swanson. I'm driving.
Wow!
Hey, Square! My dinghy's bigger than your whole boat!
Welcome back to the Caddyshack Minute, the podcast in which we analyze and study and think about and look at the movie Caddyshack 1 minute at a time. I am Tom Taylor, and I am joined again by my friends Mike DeMaria.
Again, yes.
And Dan Lewis.
Hello.
We are here to talk about minute 25 of Caddyshack, and minute 25 begins with Carl working a hose into the gopher hole, and it ends with...
Not euphemistically this time.
No, this time he's literally working a hose into a gopher hole. And it ends with Czervik sinking a putt with the help of his Einstein putter. And I have to make a note before we start this minute. I'm going to blow the lid off this whole thing.
You and your notes.
What?
Did you and your notes?
I got notes, and they're important notes.
All right,
I think it was sometime last week, Mike, you were identifying Drew Scott and Gatsby, and Dan and I went off on you on what an idiot you are because you had the wrong guys.
I'm right.
But I am here, and we took a point away from you, but then gave you half a point back because you admitted you were wrong. But God damn it, Mike, you were right. Yes. I have been wrong for whatever it is, 30 whatever years.
No.
Dan.
You're telling me that Gatsby is the bald guy?
No.
Gatsby is the bald guy in the yellow shirt. Drew Scott is the guy with the dark hair and the mustache and the blue shirt and the white pants.
How do you know that?
Because none of us were listening to our guest Kevin Marr when he was describing these. My problem, I talked to him today. I was like, I got to admit to you before I admit to the other guys that I was dead wrong about this. Because here's what I think happened in my head. I think that in the party scene later on when Judge Smales says, oh, he's a guest of the Scots, they cut then or something to the bald guy. And I've always identified that guy as Drew Scott.
Me too.
I've never even noticed the other guy with the mustache.
So that's Gatsby.
Yeah.
Oh.
So I've always thought that Gatsby was Drew Scott.
Yeah, I see now that Brian McConaughey has a full head of hair.
Yeah, he's Drew Scott, and Scott Powell is Gatsby. Scott Powell is the balding guy, and we should almost start over from the pro shop where we first see these guys.
So it's Gatsby who is the Zelig type character who is in every scene.
Yeah, that's the weird part. Yeah,
that is weird.
Yeah,
Gatsby's just like a party animal who always has like a martini, and he likes to hang out with everybody in the entire realm of Bushwood.
and
I'm guessing
Scott's the one during the so what? So let's dance. He's holding the golf club like a cane.
yes.
Yeah. Okay. Now we're on
And
the
dancing
right
with
page.
Joey. Yeah. But now since even going into this, I had never noticed, Drew, now the guy I thought who was Drew Scott, who's Gatsby, I never noticed his pal, the guy with the mustache. So now I'm imagining that as we go forward, I'm going to see that guy all over the place. Okay, Drew Scott actually is in this movie constantly. All right. The guy with the mustache.
Wow. I have something to say about Mike's thing here, which is that so he lost a point but gained a half point for admitting he was wrong. Even though he gets the point back for being correct in the first place, he still keeps the half point for being wrong.
Again.
For admitting he's being wrong, because you still get credit for admitting you're wrong, even if you're right in a situation where you think you're wrong.
Upon
reparations.
Further review, I was correct, but in my own mind, I was wrong because I had everything reversed.
Yes.
I had it flipped. I'm not going to fight you on this one.
All right.
I think we're saying you're right.
I'm right, but in my mind, I was right, but I was wrong because I had the guys reversed.
Yeah, you let us talk you out of being right.
When all the cards are on the table, we see the hands that we've been dealt. You guys were wrong, and I was right, but I don't know I was wrong or right. I don't know.
Correct.
That's good.
Yeah.
We've come a long way.
Yeah.
I'm not worried about it. I think Mike will be wrong plenty before the end of it, and we'll dock him at that point.
Yeah, we'll pounce. Yeah. We got to make up. We got to save face.
Yep, and then you'll send Moose and Rocco to collect.
Yeah.
Help Mr. DeMaria find his checkbook.
Help Mike find his checkbook.
Whoa.
Oh, no. Yeah. So before you even I don't think you got all the way through your description of what was happening here.
No, he did.
Okay, with this.
Oh, I did. Yeah.
Well, okay. The Einstein
I mean,
putter, right?
yeah. You seem to think that I describe every minute of the minute when really I really just describe the beginning and the end of the minute.
Yeah.
Go-
Well, maybe
book it.
maybe you should hit the points where. Well, that's fine. That's fine. No, you're right. You're right about that.
Okay,
I'm
fine.
with you on that. Okay, fine.
That's the way he's been doing it for this is our 25th show.
Don't ask me to change.
We're at the quarter. The first quarter is coming to a close.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh.
So
You notice the jump cut there when Bill Murray snakes the tube into the ground.
it's a hose.
And I was thinking of the tube down Miss Bellow's throat that Dr. Beeper had snaked. But no, when he puts the hose in, and then he's like in the middle, it's a jump cut in a sense. It's a jump cut visually, but not in audio. So it jumps to him turning the nozzle on for the hose, but he's in the middle of his like sort of speech about it's going to take 250, 25 million gallons of such and such. Did you notice that?
Right.
Yeah. Anyway, that's all I had to say. I have nothing else to say about it.
Well, again, we're stuck in a gopher scene for a while at the beginning of this minute, which I don't cotton to.
It's
I'm
hard
getting
to
more
talk
and
about
more.
the gopher scenes.
I didn't realize going into this that I hated the gopher scenes so much. But
yeah.
they're leaving me pretty cold, and I just want them to be over.
Yeah.
Although I am impressed with the effect of all the water shooting out of all the holes. I think that's
Yeah, and I was thinking about that. It's like, what are those holes?
Yeah, is that like a?
I
It
guess
looks to
it's
me
just
like a
gopher holes.
practice putting green or something.
Well, I think he's just seeing how big the gopher
Oh.
problem is, just sort of displaying how bad the problem has gotten. But it could be that it's all practice holes and that the gopher has just connected them all through a series of tunnels.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But this does have one of my most. This is one of the things that I quote, or I've quoted a lot as a kid. I think it is. I do that all the time.
I think it is. Oh, you do that? I didn't know.
I say it to myself like I'll be talking, and I realize that nobody's listening to me. Usually with the kids, and when I get no response, I just say, "I think it is." Is that what it's going to take?
That's a very
think it
interesting
is.
line to be quoting. Yeah, I like that.
It's like one of those random things that gets stuck in my cerebral cortex and just bounces around and comes out of my mouth every so often.
Yeah.
Is there anything
I think
more
it
fun than
is.
talking to yourself when no one's around? I do that
Yeah.
constantly.
Yeah.
Is this the end of the day? I think it is. And then I go to sleep.
Yeah, I think it is.
He checks his watch.
I love the Rodney scene as he's doing his jokes here about if for Italians this is skilled labor.
Yeah, let's slow
I
it.
think
We're gonna have to take this one a little slower.
I was gonna say, yeah.
There's a lot going on here.
Okay.
Yeah.
He's really jacked up here because his body's jerking and swaying here, and
He's going nuts.
and I never noticed the boxing gloves on the golf gloves.
Yeah.
Right, he's got boxing gloves for head covers on his golf clubs. It's hilarious.
What's that about, actually? That I noticed that and I thought it was funny, but now that I'm thinking about it, I'm like, wait, what is that? Is that a thing to get, or is it just a goofy thing?
I think it's just a funny touch.
Okay.
And let's see if they disappear. I don't know if they disappear in the next scene.
Oh.
If it was just like Harold Ramis just threw them on there for that shot.
Well, let me ask you, Mike, as an Italian American, is it okay to make a joke about the Italian skilled labor joke? Does that ruffle your feathers?
I don't see why not. It's fine.
All right.
Yeah,
sat
I
here
think
and-
it's in this context. It seems like it's kind of it's Rodney just doing a bunch of jokes. He would joke about
Okay.
anything. You feel like
Yeah.
That's
And also,
true.
it would be kind of hypocritical for me to make a big deal about it when the three of us have skirted around Asians,
True.
Jewish jokes.
Now it's
We
time to
tried
skirt
to-
around the Italian on
Yeah,
the show.
I mean, it's only fair, right?
It is fair.
yeah. And,
Likewise. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Dan.
Well, I was just going to say that I can only assume Czervik is a Polish name. And,
interesting.
I really don't feel like he's the type of guy that would get all pissed off if you did a Polish joke.
Right. He just come at you with another one of whatever you are.
Yeah, I think it's just understood that he's he goes after everybody, doesn't matter, and he's just having fun.
Yeah.
Part of his character.
Yeah,
but
like it would be
even
wrong
full-
of him to not say anything about D'Annunzio when he's going after Wang and everybody else.
Right.
But he's on stage here because his body's swinging around.
Yeah, he's
all of his joints are bopping here. His knees are bopping.
My favorite part is he serves himself a Dixie, like a small Dixie cup of beer, and he just holds it to his face and jerks around for about 10 seconds while D'Annunzio gives his line.
Yeah.
And like you can tell he's not drinking or anything. He's just like waiting for his line. And but the man cannot stand still to save his life. It's
Yeah.
incredible.
And
I love him.
D'Annunzio's got a nice, easy smile on his face. Everybody's enjoying themselves in the seat.
Yeah.
This is the first time we've seen D'Annunzio smile.
Relaxed in a relaxed way, yeah.
All right.
He's
good to
calmed
see.
down. Yeah, he's smoking. He's taking the opportunity to tell a joke, and he does it in a kind of like deliberate way. He's a pretty good joke teller. You can tell.
He's giving it right back to him.
A rich millionaire
Yeah.
as opposed to the other kind of millionaire.
And he starts pouring, and then D'Annunzio, like a good caddy, starts pouring beers and hands one right away to.
No, what
Gatsby.
happened? No, what? Yeah, but first, Czervik gives the Dixie cup back to D'Annunzio, and then D'Annunzio gives it to his brother. And then he starts filling up the Dixie cups because
Gatsby, and the rule is, whenever Gatsby or now I'm forgetting their name, Drew Scott.
I know, really.
Whenever Gatsby and Drew Scott stand next to him, he's supposed to start filling up with beer.
Right.
Yeah. I love that he's got a custom remote that does all these different things. The same remote control that causes the beer tap to come up. And just where's the beer? And I don't know. It's just hilarious.
And the little kid, Joey, with that boy girl who was trying to carry that thing before. That must be insane. I mean, like literally imagine how much that must actually weigh. There's a beer keg in there.
There's a pony keg. There's as we know later, a television.
Yeah,
a radio.
and there's some sort of device that launches the clubs
hydraulics
out of the top. Yeah,
Yeah, there's hydraulics.
this is ridiculous.
It's like made in some Orange County custom.
Yeah, pimp my bag.
Yeah, pimp my bag.
Stretching credulity.
Yeah. Right. Well,
I have a question about a reference that old Al Czervik makes. He says, "What do you do back in Boys Town?" Is he referring to the Bing Crosby movie Boys Town, which, to my limited knowledge, was about it was like an orphanage or a home for wayward boys or something? Is that what is going on in this? Well, I don't know why I have to have every joke explained to me.
Yeah,
I don't feel like I do, but I feel like since we're doing this minute by minute, you got to talk about something.
At some point you just gotta let these go, and we talk about this. This comes up.
well, he didn't, did he?
When we're doing these minutes.
He didn't, did he? He didn't let it go.
No,
He didn't let it go.
now we have to talk about it.
No,
I tell you what.
it's an old movie,
Yeah.
Tom. It's
Okay,
got
but is it-
Mickey
okay.
Rooney in it?
This goes
Yeah,
back.
yeah, yeah.
Now this goes. You know what? I'm going to take this opportunity. Now to go back and say, you know what? We're going to go back to the bowl of soup joke. The bowl of soup joke that I had to explain to Tom. It's if you buy this hat, you get a bowl of soup, and you had a hard time thinking that the bowl of soup was the gag prize, right?
Yeah.
The joke is the hat is so shitty that it's a reversal. When you buy the bowl of soup, you get this hat for free. You're really paying for the bowl of soup because the hat is so shitty. Okay.
Right, but Tom's overthinking it one way or the
He's
other.
overthinking it.
No,
and now he's
see,
got
here's
me
the thing.
overthinking it because I'm thinking about it all the time.
Right
No, let me say
we're
this.
forced to think about it.
Yeah.
Your explanation of why that joke is funny is exactly how I took it all these years. I just wanted to make sure I wasn't missing some sort of old Catskills kind of gag thing.
And the rest of us just said, "Ha ha! It's a bowl of soup. It's funny," and you move on. It's done.
Right, but but Tom, I know that time you had it right, but there's a lot. Imagine how many things you've got wrong and you don't even know it. No one knows it because you haven't talked about it yet. And I think that's.
So it
a
sounds
lot of
like you're
time.
saying I should bring it up more often. I should bring up every single question in my head.
But you're not understanding sometimes in the context of comedy that why something can be funny but maybe not be totally explainable.
Oh, I totally understand that, and I love that.
Demonstrated it many times that you don't.
I just want to make sure I don't want to leave any joke unturned. I want to make sure that I understand every joke backwards and forwards.
No.
Just in case I'm missing something.
No, you've done this many
I'm
times.
going to
now.
wring every bit of comedy out of this movie.
Yeah.
It's got enough. It's got enough comedy.
Yeah, it's got enough on the surface. We don't have to excavate to get to the below the ground comedy. It's the Caddyshack. It's not the Caddyshack Millennium. We don't have all the time in the world to discuss this movie. We have jobs. We got things to do. I got PowerPoint presentations I got to finish at work tomorrow. I can't be thinking about it. I'm sitting there at work today thinking about the bowl of soup. The bowl of soup. Why doesn't this idiot why doesn't this jackass, this big, tall goon, get that it's just fun? Is dummy. That's the good word. Dummy.
Yeah, dumb.
Dummy. Hello. Yeah, it's like a dum-dum.
Hello, dumb.
He's like a ventriloquist puppet.
What kind of soup is it? Is it a soup by choice?
Yeah. But it's like it's a good analogy would be like if he were around during the like the Who's On First when that was famous, he would say, "No, I don't. That's funny and everything, but let me get this straight. So is the man? Why would his last name be Who? Like, what do you guys think his background is? Is he what is his background so that he would have a last name of what?"
What are the chances?
Is there something I'm missing in this joke instead of just getting the joke?
It's funny.
It is funny.
Just sometimes, Tom, it's just funny.
That's the only way you can approach this movie. But when you're faced with something,
sometimes you just go with what it should be. I'll give you another example, and Dan knows this. Dan had a friend who was a very smart guy, astrophysicist sort of guy.
Oh,
physics.
Mr. Mixelplex.
Yes, a very smart.
Made a fortune in physics.
Yeah, a very smart individual. This is the time when we were all getting the first iPods were coming out.
I don't know where this is going. Go ahead.
No, but and he said, "We said, why'd you get the iPod?" I got the iPod because everybody's getting the iPod. And he did all this research, and he got this other. He's a smart guy. Decided to go and get this other MP3 player because all the reports and everything said that this one's better. And we said, but it's not an iPod. You should have just got an iPod. A week later, that thing broke, and he ended up going in an iPod. Sometimes you just don't over-research things. Yeah. You just go with where the stream takes you. If it makes you laugh, he laughs.
Right.
Okay? You don't have to always... You don't. I'm not wrong. You're right, I'm not.
We don't look stuff up in Trump's America.
No. I don't look it up in my... I spend too much time looking stuff up. That's what I do all the time.
Dan's making a joke, but he's also making a good point. It sounds almost, Mike, I was almost with you, but now it's sounding like maybe you're being a little anti-intellectual.
No, that's what he said.
Don't ask questions.
That's what he said in minute 19, and I took offense to it. The bowl of soup. Right. I'm not a troglodyte. I'm not intellectual. What I'm saying is you got to pick your spots. Pick your spots. It's like trying to steal second. You don't steal on every pitch. You pick your spots.
Stealing is immoral.
Don't take it too far. I took it too far with that joke because I don't think it's he's not. He's anti-ineffectual, which is what you're being, Tom, with your constant questioning and inability to deal with just a joke on its own terms. Next question.
All right, back to physics. So Al Czervik's got the putter.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's a special putter. Equipped with what appears to be, like a big, it looks like a huge sight from like a long range gun or something. It's got this readout on it. This very, very, I guess, primitive readout. What would now be a primitive digital readout of. It
looked like the same thing that Harold Ramis was looking through in the AM-50 before he shot the rockets and strikes.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Now, see, I'm feeling a little bit stifled right now because I had about 5 pages of notes about the readout and about the numbers, like what they could possibly mean and how the 75 goes to a 71. And that seems like that's not what you'd expect like for a perfect.
No, we want you to ask the questions, Tom.
I don't. No, forget it.
We want you to ask the questions.
I'm sorry. No, you're right.
I'm accepting it.
Let's
scope.
No.
Einstein made the thing for him. Forget it. No, it's good.
No. Come on, Tom. Ask your questions now. I see it goes from 75% to 71%. What's this all about?
That strikes me as a little bit odd.
That's how hard to hit it. It's telling him hit it at 75% or something like that.
Yes.
Okay, but that's like that doesn't seem like that would help me at all. That doesn't seem like how do I as a human being know to go from like the 75% I was prepared to do, and then cutting that back to 71?
No,
Like, how
the
do I
machine,
control
the,
my
the
muscles to
telescope does
degree?
that for you. It's computing and it just says no, no, yes. So you just
Okay,
wait.
but that's the other thing. Like you're moving the thing. He's moving the putter around. He's moving the scope around to get
Right.
it from a no to a yes. So then what do you have to do as soon as it gets to yes? You have to move the putter again to make this to swing, So I don't see how it's bothering me.
Yeah.
I get that it's a gag. Einstein made it for him. Yes,
That's the
he hits
gag.
the
It's
thing
just
and it
it's
goes in
it's a
perfectly.
gag. It makes it
right.
makes the putt happen without
hate
you
this
having to
fucking
get
movie.
good at golf.
I guess so.
This is I think probably how they got the idea for Terminator when they saw this scene.
And RoboCop.
This is how they got the idea for Guitar Hero.
Yeah, right. Probably right. This is
Yeah.
the putting equivalent of Guitar Hero.
Or let's just cut straight to it's Wii Golf. It's you got that little gauge there that was like, oh, don't do it this hard, Except that's the opposite. They would say, oh, you did like 75%. You only should have done 71. Oh, well, now you tell me.
Right. And he takes and he does it. He doesn't know what 75% is, and he misses the putt, so he has to take it back to Einstein. And another
Yeah.
thing, Einstein, you don't get that other 5,000 I owe you.
Another thing, Vonnegut.
I was just thinking of
Yeah, that's what the joke is. Yeah. No, yes. Tom, just think of it like when you're questioning a joke very deeply, and you feel like you're questioning a joke more than about 75%. You just imagine that no, then back it off a little bit, and then it'll say yes, and that's how you should take the joke.
So I should set my notes to like 71 or so.
That's right. Set the
Not
notes to
75.
somewhere between 70 and 75%. There's this ubiquitous siren, the Chicago siren.
Yep, that's me.
Yeah.
I live
What
in the
neighborhood
woods.
do you live in, Mike?
I'm not telling.
Oh,
Mike lives in a very hoity-toity gated neighborhood, but he's got a sound effect board.
right.
Like
Ahoy polloi.
he's a rich millionaire.
A rich millionaire. I
The
love
doctor
it.
says he just live in a neighborhood with lots of ambulances for his health.
Did anybody notice Wang's bag, as played by Dr. Dow? Wang, the bag that's being carried for him.
The McGregor?
No.
Yeah, on the bag is it's not the McGregor. The McGregor's the other bag. The McGregor is the one that Joey is carrying, but what's her name is carrying the other bag, and Wang's bag has just got tags all over it. Like how all of his hat and everything has tags on it. The bag has like 10 tags dangling off of it.
Because he got set up with the whole schmear.
Yeah, you got some of the whole schmear: bats, gloves, shoes, balls, pants, shirts.
And he left a tag on everything.
Yeah, there's tags just dangling all over. It's great.
And Grace is still having a ball. She's having the
Yeah,
nicest time.
they're having a
with,
grand
with
time,
Wang.
the two of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is the group that I would want to hang out with if I were at Bushwood, for sure.
Totally.
Well, that's a question now. Do the caddies hope that they get the Scots
I think so.
because they're having a good time?
Sure.
Because you're a brown noser if you get the other groups.
Like Rodney is
Brown
clearly the rock star of this entourage right now, but like he's a guest. So yeah, like what do the Scots bring to the table when Rodney's not around? Like they don't have the beer serving bag or anything. Are they just like cool guys in other ways? Like
Well, like we
don't
said
know.
before, Drew Scott's hanging out with them at the, he obviously hangs out with the caddies because he's down there gambling with them later in the movie.
That's true.
Right.
All right. So it's just an attitude thing. They're laid back, they're having a good time.
Yeah.
right.
What is that on Al's hat? He's got on his hat is like some sort of insignia on the front of it, and
Yeah.
then on the bill there's this chevrons or whatever.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't know what it is, but he's got some sort of weird boating hat. It's like his boating hat, I guess. Something like that. Move over, Swanson.
People are going to yell at us. People hear stuff like that and they go, duh, you don't know his hat? Oh my God.
It's not a chevron, you idiot.
You call yourself a
Just swerves
Caddyshack
off
fan?
the freeway,
No.
slams into the median.
Yeah.
Somehow his blood is on our hands.
Right.
I can't take this anymore.
Tired of these guys getting this movie wrong.
Should have been mine.
I love Al's shoes. Yeah.
L shoes are. I'm looking at them right now. Are they complete shoes, or are they a little bit sandal-like? Like there's white on the edges in the front, but is that his sock or is that his?
No,
he's got
that's just
like
the
part of the
wingtips.
shoe.
Yeah, they're like a very
Okay.
fancy wingtip with the white.
But when
Yeah.
he's
You
lining
can
up
see
that
him. You
shot,
can see a close
when he's lining up that shot,
Yeah.
his feet are going heel toe, heel toe. He can't sit still for a second.
I don't
And
think
then,
that's what you
so
want
that's
when you're
like
putting.
when they
you
do
want to
the
be kind of controlled.
when they
but
do the
still.
close up of him putting. That's obviously not him because those feet are still,
Yeah, you got like a real
Yeah.
putter there.
and that's a stunt putter because that his legs would be, his feet would be shimmying around.
I want to make a like a looping animated GIF of Rodney pretending to drink that Dixie cup and just moving around
Yeah,
while he's drinking.
just like
Incredible.
just shimmying back and forth.
It's like he's dancing to some song in his head that only he can hear.
What a genius!
Made a fortune in physics. I love that. Like that's
even
the only.
true?
That's the thing that they think is the most remarkable about Einstein. Is he made a fortune.
When you do back in Boys Town,
You think back in
and everybody
Boys Town.
giggles. Scott's even giggle.
Everybody's loving it. Everybody's having a good time.
Hey, it's the Rodney train.
Which of course will be set against the kind of shitty atmosphere in the next minute with the
Yeah.
other foursome that's playing.
Yeah,
But Tom, what other notes do you? You must have some other
That's
nerdy
good,
notes you took
nerdlinger.
down.
No, honest to God, I love this minute, but I don't
You
have
just
that
said
many
you did.
notes. Well, no, I kind of summarized them. The whole thing about the scope was bugging me a little bit, but I'm just gonna let it go. I'm gonna let it
Oh, it
go.
was the '80s. You'd watch those.
Accepting it.
You watch those war movies where they'd have those screens up, and none of it made any sense. And it was just blipping and blinking and
Yeah.
Yeah.
nonsensical.
And that's happening now in different ways. Like that's in movies now. We just don't think of it that way maybe. But later on they're going to go, well, how could that possibly work for that?
Yeah.
That's not going to make sense.
That's a toaster.
Now the nerd in me, which is most of me, the nerd in me is thinking, well, now is again, this is 1980. We had Star Wars like 3 years earlier.
Mm-hmm.
There are a lot of the Luke's macro binoculars had like a crazy readout and stuff in them. Are people like used to seeing that thing now? And so in the back of their heads, this scope thing is sort of connected to that, and they're going, "Oh, sure, like a crazy electronic scopey thing." Okay.
Yeah, that's all you need to see, and then people go, "I get it, it works."
All right.
I never noticed that it said 71%. And then there's like an N, and then a 3, and then a 3 dots,
Yeah.
and then like 2 more dots, and a 30 with a dot in the middle of the O, the 0.
The $6 million man didn't really have any of that when you saw his point of view, did it?
No,
Like it just got big. It
That-
just got close.
that would have been cool though, as he did the backstroke on the putt. If you heard the $6 million man sound,
That would've been cool.
that noise that they made whenever he did something in the show.
They could have had Chevy Chase do it.
No, 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 no. Huh?
In the aforementioned National Lampoon movie that's getting made about Doug Kenny,
Yeah.
I guess Chevy Chase will be played by that Joel McHale guy. You know that guy?
I saw that. Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah, that is very interesting.
Most of that cast is kind of interesting.
Yeah.
I'm not going to go through it now, but people can look it up.
No, look it up, guys. You'll see.
We can't do all the heavy lifting.
Can't do any of it.
So I shouldn't even have brought it up.
Well, no, you presented an idea, a little assignment for the audience to go check things out on their own.
Yeah, I'll definitely be seeing that film. I don't mind plugging it. Hasn't even
There you
been
go.
finished yet. Hasn't even been made yet.
No,
And
we got time.
I'm vowing to go see it. I'm buying low on this movie. I'm gonna sell high.
Got to wait for the crop reports.
Yeah. Frozen concentrated orange juice.
And now,
This is orange juice, which we made from oranges. And this is bacon, which you might have in a bacon, lettuce, and tomato sandwich.
the Secretary
Eddie
of
Murphy's looked at the
Agriculture.
camera.
What channel are they watching?
And everybody gets shot.
That the crop report comes up like that.
I have had
That's another part. Now
people-
that movie that bothered me in that movie. Like, what is this, C-SPAN or something? Where everybody, here comes the Secretary of Agriculture. He's got the crop report chained to his wrist like the nuclear codes.
Yeah. We now cut away from Dynasty to bring you the crop report. This episode of Knight Rider will be preempted.
I've watched that movie with my grandfather, who is a CPA. I've watched it with other financial wizards and stuff, and they have all tried to explain the end of that movie to me. And that's a case where to this day, I don't know what's going on in the end of that movie, the climax of that movie, but I just sort of get it and I take it. I'm like, okay, they're smiling now, they're frowning now. Those guys are upset, those guys are happy.
How did they make their money?
Yeah, I don't know what happened right there.
Well, they bought everything at the end is when they bought, which is the weird part for me. It's not like they sold high at the end.
They bought low.
They waited. I don't know what they did. I don't get it really.
See,
I don't care.
when we do the trading places,
We're a bunch of ne'er-do-wells. We don't know what's going on. But we just accept that.
Because again, though, that's I have such there's a Clockwork Orange effect that happens with me with that. I had the Jamie Lee Curtis moment that I spoke about in an earlier minute.
Oh, sure.
With the first ever nudity in a movie that I saw, and then my head was ringing with it the rest of the movie. It didn't matter. I was very happy with what happened, and also it's a great movie. I've gone back and seen it at least a few, probably a handful of times. It holds up very, very well indeed. I love that movie.
It does. For the
Except
most
for
part.
that part.
They get to the train and then things kind of nosedive a little bit.
Yeah,
Not
a little
nosedive.
Yeah, it doesn't go into maybe not a nosedive, but it has a little lull there.
It's like, wait, why is this totally stiff, Harvard-educated dude who's been like a total bum the whole time, or a total buzzkill? Now he's like dressed up like as a Rastafarian. He's in blackface. Like I don't get it.
Yeah.
Why is the butler dressed up as like a weird little drunk priest guy? I don't get it.
The butler has the best moment in that movie. The best actor. Who is that actor? He's been in a bunch of movies.
Denham Elliott. From Raiders of the Lost Ark. Thank you very much.
Oh, that's right. Thank you very much.
The Indiana Jones Minute.
Well, I asked the wrong question there.
No, I'm off.
Forget it.
No, what about
I love that butler. He's a great character in Trading Places. And then there's a moment where, Dan Aykroyd comes to the door and the butler has to pretend that he doesn't know him.
Oh, yeah.
And then he gives this kind of like, this really sad kind of upset look as he like closes the door. And he's sort of, with this one look, and the man should have gotten the Oscar that year. With this one look, he sort of conveys that, like, he's got to do his job, but he feels really bad about it. And it's not too much because it doesn't destroy the comedy. It's just a perfect moment. I've always loved that one moment of that movie.
Yeah. He's incredible.
Yeah, he's a great actor.
It's a whirlpool bath.
He's probably no longer with us. Is that right?
He is not no longer with us.
He's not.
I mean, he is no longer with us.
He is no longer with us.
Yes.
All right.
He's dead, is what I'm trying to say.
All right.
He died.
All right. Well, he's answering doors and pulling the car around in heaven right now.
That sucks. Really? That's horrible.
Well, he was a butler in the movie.
Butler in heaven?
Yeah, well, they have to have a butler up there. What about all the people what about all the people that was their dream to have a butler?
You just made a good point. You brought up something that's interesting. When you're an actor and you've been in movies, as most actors do, and you die, and you go up to heaven, you go up to St. Peter, and he looks in his book and it says, okay, you played all these different parts, but in heaven you're going to be this part. You're going to be the butler that you played in Trading Places. You're not going to be the character that you played in Raiders of the Lost Ark. You will always be the butler.
Right, because St. Peter looks up whatever the best movie is. He sees that Trading Places is a better movie than
So when Gordon Jump went up to heaven.
Oh, no, don't say it.
Oh,
St.
this is
Peter, and
Don't
on his way
say
up, he
it.
was saying, please just let me be Mr. Carlson. Please let me be Mr. Carlson.
Yeah,
Everyone loves Mr. Carlson.
I just want to run a radio station.
I just want to run WGOD in heaven.
Yeah,
I just
right.
want to play with my train set in my office with the door closed.
WGOD.
He gets up there and St. Peter just gives him a big old grin on his face. And he goes, there's your bike shop over there.
Right.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, right.
Oh, Jesus. You sure Fritz the cat.
Now you're going to go, you're going to ask for
You're gonna
Dudley.
ask for Dudley.
Oh, no. Gordon Jump. He got
That's
Gordon
horrible.
Jump.
Well, okay, can he be the bike shop owner and not molest kids? Can he within that role, can he make his own decisions?
He could give him ice cream and pizza, and just because he's really nice.
Or
he's a nice guy.
just sell them
But
bikes
in the back
at a
of his
discount.
head,
Like he doesn't have to get too
But in the back of
friendly.
his head, he's going to do what he knows he's going to do. So he's like shaking.
Yeah.
He's like, I don't want to do this, Dudley, but we got to do this for eternity.
Wait a minute.
You don't get that?
Oh my. Yeah.
Gordon Jump. Why couldn't he even be like the
And he's
toy
sitting up
store,
there, and he's
the toy
sitting
company guy from
He's sitting up there
Seinfeld?
being the child molester bike shop owner, and all he's thinking in the back of his head is saying,
God.
when the day that his agent called him and says, "I got a job for you. You're going to be on different strokes."
I had all that WKRP money. Could have just coasted on that.
And he decided. He said, "I don't know if I should do this." And his agent said, "Come on, it's a good score. Different strokes, big show," and he did it. And now he's in heaven.
No, wait. So this is his heaven. This is his eternal reward, is having to be a pedophile for all eternity.
It's part of it is, but it's actually his inverse hell. He's actually in hell, but his hell is being in heaven as a child molester.
Oh my God!
Jeez.
Well, maybe they give him the choice. Okay, do you want to be like Mr. Carlson in hell, or would you rather be a pedophile in heaven?
Because it's heaven,
Very
we're not going
Milton,
to actually let you do anything wrong, but you'll always be known as
Your bike shop is not going to do great business because people are going to know to stay away.
They'll just walk by.
I've heard stories about you.
Yeah.
Right.
And that's your hell is going to be, you're going to be that character that you played, waiting for Dudley, but Dudley never comes over.
Oh.
I hate this minute.
Oh, that's bad.
This minute sucks.
I don't want to talk about that anymore. Hey, says here that
I'm not on my game today. I'm not on my game today.
I think you're doing fine.
And when I'm not on my game, stuff like this happens.
Yeah,
You're
that
doing
was
the
it.
Lord's
Went
work.
dark there, and I don't know what you went to the dark side a little bit. That ain't right.
I don't want to look up and see if Gordon Jump has actually died or not.
He's
yet.
dead. He died at
Died
age
a long time ago,
71.
yeah.
Oh,
It says
no.
here in the 60s he converted to the Church of Jesus Christ and Latter-day Saints. So, yeah, it turns out he is in hell. He's part of a heathen
Oh, my
religion.
God.
Well, he was a Mormon.
Yeah.
Gordon Jump.
This country was founded by traditional Baptist Christians.
Yeah,
So
and that's the way
therefore-
we like it. Thank you.
Yeah. Gordon Jump.
Although didn't they wasn't there was a South Park where somebody died and went to hell. He was like, but I was a good Christian my whole life. Oh, I'm sorry, Mormon. Mormon was the correct religion.
Oh,
We're
yeah,
sorry.
that's right. Yeah, you have to. That's great. You just discovered that one. Who did I meet the other day? That was what's the one that's got the 144,000 people go to heaven? I think that's this.
That's the scientists?
No, that's Jehovah's Witnesses or the Seventh-day Adventists or something.
Yeah, I think it's the
Wait,
Seventh Day.
that's-
So they believe that there's a set number.
Yeah.
That get
Here's
it.
my question though, and did I ask this before? Where do 144,000 people? They're already going. The top 144,000 are always going, and that you can get knocked out if you're 144,000th on the list, or they're still filling it up.
This is what it is. It's already been counted out, and it's already been accounted for. So everybody who's going up there is already going up there. The problem is that we don't know who's going up there, so you have to be good.
But then more people are being created all the time.
Right.
Yeah, and people have died for hundreds of years
Yeah.
and thousands of
Right.
years. So
So
are
that's my
they part
question.
of
You
that?
don't know. You don't know if one slot has your name on it, so you cannot veer from the straight and narrow.
I get that part. I'm just saying that, logistically here. Let's say I'm running heaven. I'm like the showrunner up there, and I got to figure out. I got to get these people out of here. I got more people coming in. I got to figure it out.
You got to turn those tables over.
Right. You have to go up to some guy and go, hey, listen, man. Listen, John. It's the hardest part of the job right here. We got a new person coming in. He's a pretty good guy. He's better than 144,000th. That's very selective, by the way. There's been something like 18 billion people.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That is a very selective. So hardly anybody's good enough.
certainly not.
That's the
Gordon
point.
Jump.
The point is you have to be better than the best. You have to be good.
Go all the
Cannot
way.
veer. Yeah, all the way. You can't veer from the straight and narrow.
Yeah. Okay.
One impure thought and you're screwed.
Yeah,
All right.
Like trying to get into a good school.
Late for me.
yeah, right. So does stealing porno mags from the local, dime store, does that?
Oh
does
yeah,
that count?
yeah, of course,
That
of course,
definitely
yeah.
counts. There's no way you're getting in now with
No.
those kind of odds.
But I don't. Yeah.
Sorry, Mike.
That's got a double Jeopardy quality
Yeah, but
to it.
here's the
doesn't it?
problem.
Now that I'm not in, screw it. I'll just
No,
go
but
knock
that's-
over
Yeah.
a gas station.
Well, guess what? I'm a Catholic.
That's
Yeah.
right.
So all you
You're not
got to
supposed
do
to be
is
doing
right
this
before you
now.
drop, you got to just say I'm sorry. You got to ask for forgiveness, and all is well.
All right.
Wow. Sweet. Is that your plan?
No, but I'm saying that's what it is. And he's a Catholic. The Blues
Oh,
Brothers.
I'm sorry. Are you a Roman Catholic? Oh, sorry. That's the next minute.
All right, we're getting to the next minute.
Yeah.
I was quoting the Blues Brothers.
A Catholic.
Yeah, Rep and Fear. We ran the plates on that car.
I love that
He
movie.
got his address, and he's a Catholic. He got the car.
Oh, my girlfriend's 6-year-old son got really into. He was only 5 when he did this, but he got really into Blues Brothers, to the point where he was wanting to watch it every day, and he was saying 4 fried chickens and a Coke, and he was like, and then he wanted the whole outfit, so they got him the tie, a jacket, a hat, sunglasses, everything. He wore it to school every day.
Oh my God.
He went to school every day as a Blues Brother.
And it wasn't Halloween.
It was great. No. He just was like, this is how I want to go around. These guys are cool.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, it was great. That was funny. It seems like he's gotten out of it at this point, but he'll probably always have it. He'll go back to it and he'll like it probably always.
Now, does he just dress as a pirate constantly or something? What's he moved on
Yeah,
to?
now he just goes to school as a ghost or a pirate or something else every day.
Frankenstein's monster.
Yeah, right.
Have him go as Maurice Sline. Tom got it.
I don't know what that is.
It's from a movie called Blues Brothers,
Yeah,
isn't it?
he's the one that booked him at the
Oh, yeah. At the country,
the ballroom.
good old boys.
Yeah,
The-
Lake Winnipesaukee.
There's a line from that movie that I don't know if I do it right, but it's my favorite line of the movie in my head. Like the way remember it is my favorite, but I don't know if it's actually what the guy says in the movie.
yeah.
When they pull up to the, there's the Nazi rally going on, and like, oh, what's going on? Who are these guys? And I hear the cop saying, "The goddamn Nazi party." Is that what he says?
No,
But
he
you
says
can't
the
tell if
fucking-
that's what he says.
No, he says the fucking Nazi party.
Oh, he does.
Yeah, he
Okay.
does.
So
That's
you mistook a goddamn for a fucking? Is that what you're saying?
Or maybe I was watching like a TV version or something. I don't know.
Oh, that's the
That's pretty good. Now, which do I like better? Do I like fucking or do I like not?
gosh darn
goddamn?
Nazis.
The Mickey Ficky Nazis.
Yeah, and then the TV version they replaced fucking with goddamn, and they replaced Nazis with John Birch Society. I got one like that, Tom, where my version of the thing is I like it more than the version that it is because I found out
Okay.
that. So mine was, and you may remember this SNL parody, commercial parody of a Schmidt's Gay beer. Right? Remember Schmidt's Gay? So it's one of their very, very best ones. Yeah. So it's got Adam Sandler and it's got Chris Farley, and they're arriving at some crappy house because he's got a house sit all summer. And he goes, man, this is going to be blah, blah, blah. And finally they go in back and it does that magical thing where it turns into a really nice pool, and then you hear the guitar riff, and it's like a beer commercial. But it turns out out pops these like really muscle bound, like really good looking dudes, and it's Schmidt's Gay beer. Like it was evidently a beer being marketed towards gay people, right? And it's so good. And it has them doing like water polo, and it has them like they do the sunglasses thing where you pull the sunglasses down like 3 times in quick succession, like. And at the end, in my head, when I would always like think about this commercial, or I tell somebody about the commercial, he goes, "It's going to be a great summer," and he goes, "Yeah." Like that, which I love that line more than anything. And then to my great disappointment, I watched it later, and he doesn't say it's going to be a great summer. He says, "I think we're going to like house sitting." And he goes, yeah, right? Which is fine, but in my head, I loved "It's going to be a great summer." I love that line more. And so in my head, I just decided to just remember it that way and go back to the way I remember it. And I, to this day, use that line all the time. Like, well, if you're in the right situation and, you're with your friends, they know that commercial. So, like, once in a while, I'd lean over and go, "It's going to be a great summer."
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's their cue to do the next line, right? Yeah.
And then and you realize that reality is just not as good as what's going on in your head.
Right.
No.
There's a little just let down.
I think I made the commercial just slightly better. I never could have come up with the commercial. It's brilliant, but I did help make it a little bit better in my head. Goddamn
Thank
Nazi
you.
party.
The goddamn Nazi party.
It was the fucking Illinois Nazis.
Yes, he says something about
Nazis.
Illinois Nazis.
Well, it's Illinois
specifically, doesn't he?
Nazis.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
but
remember that now. Yeah.
But I think he actually says the fucking Nazi party, and then they go Illinois Nazis. I hate Illinois Nazis.
Yeah.
The great part of that. The great part is what's the actor that plays that? Is it Henry Gibson?
Henry Gibson, yeah.
Henry Gibson. So he's on the megaphone, and the most line that's just terrible. He goes, and the Jews are using the blacks as muscle against you. What are you gonna do about it, Whitey? Take it?
That's good.
Of course not. You're gonna join with us. Decent, law-abiding.
That movie,
That's really good.
We're
I
struggling through this
consider
minute.
that one of the almost perfect movies.
Yes.
There's something almost perfect about that movie. I like other movies more, but that movie's kind of perfect.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's a little bit. It's all over the place, but who cares?
Yeah. Well, listen.
Yeah.
And when I say, well, listen, that means I've run out of stuff to talk about. I wonder if my co-hosts have run out of things to talk about.
We've done it all.
We kind of have.
Yeah.
Well, let's wrap this one up.
Yeah,
and then we
let's
can
do
come
it though.
back
But
next-
don't slow it down to wrap it up. Let's get it. Let's go. Let's wrap it up.
Okay, we're done. Everybody get out of here.
Don't tell anyone you love them.
Yeah, you're always doing
I
that.
hate you all.
Yeah.
You don't have to go home, but you can't stay here.
What other cliches can you come up with?
Don't
Depends on
let
where
the
you
door
are.
hit you on the ass on the way out. I don't know.
If you're at the library listening to this, seriously, go home.
Yeah, no, we're probably gonna. This is like another 5 minutes of us trying to wrap up the show. You can
Yeah.
give up now.
All right.
Get 5 minutes of your life back.
These are all just the outtakes of with the Burt Reynolds and Dom DeLuise outtakes during the credits right now.
Right,
Where,
right.
Yeah, from Cannonball Run and such classics as Cannonball Run 2.
This is where we get really charming.
Smokey and the Bandit.
I've never seen Cannonball Run, by the way. I for the record, I really was going to try to wrap it up quickly, but then I don't think it was just me. I think you guys helped me slow things down.
I
a
loved
little
Cannonball Run as a kid, but we don't need to get into it now.
No.
No, it's got Farrah Fawcett. Okay. Farrah Fawcett, minute. No, come back next time for minute 26 of Caddyshack. And we'll find out. Oh, no, we actually saw him drop the putt, didn't we?
But we don't know how he's going to react.
We don't know if he'll be pleased about sinking the putt.
Yeah, he might.
Well, no spoilers. Come back next time and find out here on the Caddyshack Minute.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Come on. No.
Yabba, dude.
Goodbye, dum-dum.
Hey, you scratched my ankle.